And we are specifically talking about Caixa of the Samba schools. So the Caixa is a very defining part of each Samba school. Like Samba is Samba, and it has a very similar feel school to school. But one of the things that makes a difference is the specific patterns that the Caixa play. So each school historically has had different patterns that they've changed over the years because of changes in tempo of the Samba schools. But I want to go over a bunch of different Samba schools today so you can kind of see what makes some patterns similar, makes some seem different. And about that, because there are definitely some similarities to all of them, but there are some that are pretty different than others. And there are also some Samba schools that use more than one Caixa pattern at the same time, or divided up between a 12-inch Caixa and a 14-inch Caixa, or use Caixa em cima, Caixa embaixo. So there's all kinds of different variations of Caixa. So we're just going to start with the one that's already pulled up over here, Mocidade. I like to start with Mocidade because it's possibly the most different than a lot of the other Caixa patterns. Plus, it's all hand-to-hand, so it's a good one to warm up with, get our hands warmed up for the day. Hi, Dotan, welcome. So we're going to start off with Mocidade, and for each transcription I have up here, if you are someone who reads, I started it with how to come in out of a chamada from the repique, then a section of groove, the basic pattern, a virada, the basic groove again, and then a virada to end. Because coming into the pattern from a call usually is different than starting the pattern right away and coming from a virada. So let's look at the pattern itself first. We're going to look at Mocidade, and we're going to build it beat by beat. So if you're a right-hand dominant person, it's going to start with right, and you're going to alternate right, left, right, left, right, left, all the way through this pattern. If you're a lefty, just start with the left and reverse everything that's going on. So the first beat, we're going to have right, left, and we're going to start and we're going to end with an accent. So baku tu ba. Ready, and 3, 4, 3, 4. Then we're going to build to the next one. The next accent's going to be on the and it's another group of 3. So we go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, ready, and 1, 2, ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, last time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. So after these two groups of 3s, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, bop, we're going to have a group of 4, and the next accent's going to be on the right hand. So we go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Try it out. 3, 4. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then after that group of 4, we're back to 2 more groups of 3s. So this whole pattern is in 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. And that makes a whole compasso, a whole measure at that point. So if your pulse is here, we're going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, bye. And once you get comfortable with it, you won't count all those things in there, but it might help keep you in line with what this pattern rolls. So let's start it. Let's pass through one time, take a pause, and then we'll repeat it, and then eventually we're going to loop it. So starting at the beginning, ready, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, bye. Again. 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 Now let's loop it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Last time. That's your basic pattern. So let's speed it up a little bit because these obviously go a whole lot faster. And just remember that your accents should be pretty loud. I have to play kind of quiet here just so I don't peak the microphones. But make sure your taps in between the accents are nice and low, maybe only 3 inches high off the drum. And then your accents are more in the 8-inch range. But I'm going to play most of my stuff kind of low right now. So let's start the pattern up here. Back, 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 go. 1, 2, ready, and... Last time. Cool. That's your basic pattern. Now the trick is just getting comfortable enough to be able to hang more about this kind of tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last time. And that just takes lots of practice, but you have the basic pattern now. You can take that time at home to slowly work that speed up and make sure you're able to count and tap your foot along to it. And you can practice that tapping your foot and playing along just by hitting the accents as well. Here's your pulse. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, E1, 2, and 3, and 4, E1. Just make sure you're nice and comfortable with that idea. All right, so let's talk about coming in and out of this pattern. So when we get the call from the Hepanikis calling the whole bateria in, they're going to do something to the effect of tuka, tuka, tukara, pruga, tukaraka, dum, dum, go. And Caixas, depending on the school, are going to come in either on beat 2 or 3. And in this particular instance, we're going to be coming in on beat 3. Now, the trick is our accent is on the and of beat 3. So you have to play 2 unaccented notes first before hitting that accent note. So it's just like starting halfway into your pattern. Normally, we go like ba, 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 ga, ga. And if you start halfway through that, we just start 1, 2, dum, ba, ga, ga, da, da, ba, ga, 1, da, 3, ba, ga, ba. So you're just starting on beat 3 of your pattern. So let's try that. I'm going to count 1, 2, and then come in with it on 3. 1, 2, 1, 1. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3. 1. 1. Last time. Let's try the same thing. Speed up just a little bit. Here we go. 1, 2. Ready, and stop. Cool, and that's how you're going to come in. So let's try it. I'll sing a little bit of a Hepaniki call, and then we'll come in on beat 3 and then go into the pattern. So here's our tempo. Tuka, tuka, tukara, pruga, dukaraka, dugadaka. Last time. Cool, and that's how we just come in. So let's throw a virada on it now. The basic virada, typically a signal is like this, something to that effect. And this is universal for all the samba schools. The caixas might stick it slightly different. But for this one, we're just going to go hand to hand. Baga, da, ga, da, da, da. Right, left, right, left, right, right, right. Again. And you can do a right, left, right if you want. Same basic effect. So anytime you get that signal, that's what you're going to end up playing here. So let's try the whole cycle that's written up there. We've got the entrance from the chamada, the groove, a virada back to the groove, and then a virada to end it. Let's give it a shot. Let's go from the call. Tuka, 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 da, bruga, 1, 2. Virada, 1, 2, 3, 4. And virada to end. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sweet. All right, so let's try it once, like actually up to tempo. I'm going to turn my gain down real quick because I'm peaking a little bit. Hopefully it's not too far down. Yeah, still, it's hard to mic up a Caixa. It likes to be very loud, but that's all right. All right, so let's go more Samba school tempo. About here. Let's give it a shot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I'm still peaking, like not even doing anything. Tuka, 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 da, bruga, 1, 2. Virada. 1, 2, 3, 4. And virada to end. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sweet. And that is covering the basic idea. Cool. For some reason, it's telling me it's peaking, but I'm okay with it if it is not. Awesome. So that's Mocidade. I'm going to leave that now, and we're going to move on to some other stuff. Again, it's a really good one to warm up with and also do at a slow tempo. Some of these other patterns don't really sound great slow, but this one actually kind of works nicely. So if you're working with a samba school, this is one you can do for your down tempo sambas, and it works great. So I want to go now to a pattern that's played by Renascer de Jacarepagua. And this is a Grupo A bateria. It's not in the Grupo Especial, but I played with these guys in this year in 2020 Carnival. And I really like this pattern because I haven't seen a lot of people just using this pattern. They typically play it on a 14-inch Caixa. Not typically, they just play it on 14-inch Caixa. And it's a little bit deeper sound, and it's loud, and it's heavy, and it's a lot of fun. So this pattern is pretty basic. It's kind of like the playing straight ahead, the ta-ka-da-ta-ta-ka-da-ta-ka-da-ta-ta, except they also put a buzz on the E of 4. So most of this is going to be hand to hand, all right, left, right, left, right, left. And you're going to be accenting a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4. So let's just go up to beat 4, and then we'll talk about that buzz that comes in next. So ready, and 3, 4 again. And one more time. So right there where we land on 4 with that right hand stroke, we're going to have another right away and have a press buzz stroke on that. So we get 4E, a 1 again. 4E, a 1. One more time. So let's do the whole bar all together. Ready, and again. Again. One more time. Now let's loop the pattern and keep it going, and then maybe we'll speed it up a little bit. So here we go. Ready, and Last time. And that's the basic groove. And when it gets up to tempo, this pattern really drives. And I really like, you can really get the swing on this really nice too, because this is the essential part of Brazilian swing is this where you kind of tripletized the accented notes on the downbeat and the and then squish the two middle ones together. So a pretty good example of that is going to go a little something like this. So if you just take the accents, if you almost feels like a triplet, if you're just doing the accents. Triple, let triple, let triple. And so it really helps teach the idea of swing within this pattern. Thank you, Jesse. I appreciate it. So let's start building this pattern with all the breaks and all of the other stuff going on in it. After the Hepaniki call, this one's going to come in on beat 2. And so you're just going to lay out on beat 1 that we normally just go bakaraka-da, and then just come in with bakaraka, bakaraka, ba-bruga-da. So just make sure you take out one of those notes, and so that we line up back again on beat 1. Yes, that is correct, Dotan. The buzz is the term that at least people who study Western music refers to a pressed, where you're pressing the stick into the head and you're not trying to get a specific number of bounces. It's just rather than something like that where you can get 4, just a hard press where it creates that syncopation on the E of 4. And that just comes with applying a little bit of pressure onto the drum head itself with the stick. All right, so let's try coming in from the call, and we're just going to come in on beat 2 and then make sure we end up in the right place, remembering where beat 1 is, where we go duka 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 da bruga duka da cha 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 bruga cha 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 bruga cha. All right, and if it helps you, it helps me a lot to step to this. You can keep track of 1, 2, 3, 4. Duka 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 da bruga duka da cha 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 bruga 1 cha 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 bruga da. Stepping is always a good way to help train yourself to remember where the beat is. So here we go into this pattern. Here's the call. 3, 4. Duka 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 da bruga 1. Two, 3, 4, off. So hopefully that makes sense. It's just you have to remember to leave out beat 1 and then continue all the way through until you hit beat 1 again. I get excited about stepping too, Jesse. All right, so now let's do our virada. In this case, the virada is going to be hand to hand, and it's just going to be right, left, right, left, right, 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 just the same way we did for Mocidade. So nothing changes there. And then we come back to the pattern starting on 1, and then we use the virada to end again. So let's do it as written on the page now from the call. Groove, virada, stop. Here we go. Tuka, 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 da, bruga, 1. 1. Here's the virada. 1, 2, 3, 4. And virada to end. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sweet. All right, let's do it once up to tempo so we actually feel what this feels like. Here we go. Tuka, 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 da, bruga, 1. Virada. 2, 3, 4. And. Virada to end. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is Renascer de Jacarepagua. All right, so let's move on. Next. All right, so now I want to go to Portela because this one is a pretty unique pattern. They are the only ones that use this specific pattern. And so the one that's showing up here right now is the old school Portela pattern back in the day when the samba tempos used to be more like 120, 130. They could play this pattern where it actually has two buzzes every compasso, every measure rather than just one. But in the 90s and early 2000s, the tempos of the sambas started to skyrocket up to like 150, 160, and it created a lot of problems to try to keep all these buzzes in here. So from my notes, this was 2006. 2006 that they changed from this pattern to the more modern one. But before we get to that, let's look specifically at this old one because it's pretty cool. So looking at just the pattern itself, the pattern is going to start with a double right. And so just beat one, we're going to go right, right, left, right. And the first and the last right are going to be accented. Paca tu pa. And ready, and 3, 4, 3, 4. Down more time. Then after that, we have the same kind of a buzz that we had in the Renascer de Jacarepagua pattern, but this time that buzz, there's going to be a left hand hit before you get to the buzz. So it's going to be left, right, but left buzz, or normal hit. And. So let's put the first two beats together. It's going to be paco tu paco pruca, paco tu paco pruca da. Try it out and. Again and. One more time and. One more time. Now we just loop that. Last time. So it's the same two beats, just repeated over and over again. Paca tu pa pruga, paca tu paca pruga, paca tu paca pruga pa. So it's just a very short pattern. Most of these patterns are 4 beats long, but this one, the old school Portela, is just 2 beats long and then it repeats. So that makes it easy when you come in off of a call because you just play the same part because it's a 2 beat long pattern. You start on beat 3, which is the same as beat 1, and you just keep repeating it. So let's try coming in from the call and then getting into the pattern. So here we go. Tuka, tuka, tuka da, bruga. 1, 2, 1. Last time. So let's try that one more time. Tuka, tuka, tuka da, bruga. 1, 2. One, 2, 3, 4, off. Cool. So let's look at the viradas. The sticking of this virada is going to change, where the other ones we looked at are more hand-to-hand, just going right, left, right, left. This one, we're going to stick with the actual sticking pattern that is used in the pattern. So it's going to be right, 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 right. And. One more time, and so it's the same rhythm as all the others, but just a slightly different sticking. Right, right, left, right, 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 right. So a little bit faster just to feel it. And one more time. Sweet. So let's go from the beginning. Call, groove, virada, groove, virada, stop. About here. Tuka, 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 da, pruga. 1, 2. Virada. 1, 2, 3, 4. Groove. Virada to stop. 1, 2, 3, 4. Helps to actually play it. There it is. All right, cool. So I'm not going to take that one any faster because it really shouldn't go that much faster than it's already going. So let's switch to the modern version of Portela. All right, so it's very similar sticking wise, but you're just going to be doing one buzz instead of two. So we already have our right, right in the beginning, right, right, left, right. But instead of doing the left to lead into the buzz, we are going to do another right. So just looking at the right hand or the dominant hand, if you're a lefty, we're going to go right, 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 right as the first two beats. 3, 4. 3, 4. And you may notice that on these double rights, it's the first note of the right that is accented, not the second one, and they're definitely not equal. So you're going baku, baku, ba, which accents the idea of the traceo. Back, ba, ba, ready, and 3, 4. Then you add the left hand. 3, 4. And you're just putting it in the spaces. One more time. Now that's going to lead us to the second bar and the second half of the bar. And the second half of the bar is exactly the same as the old school Portela. So we're going 3, 4. Just like we already did. So then we just have to marry those two sides and it becomes a 4-beat pattern instead of a 2-beat pattern. So let's try just one bar, go. Sorry, I just played Mangueira. That's later on. Let's try this again. Portela, ready, and... Let's just I'm going to show just the right hand for the full bar to make sure everything's making sense and lining up where it should go. Ready, and... Double, double, one, buzz. Double, double, one, buzz. Then you just put the left in the spaces. Cool, and that's that pattern. So we are going to enter and do the virada just the same way we learned for the old school Portela pattern, where we're coming in on beat 3 with bakata ba brugadum and start the pattern. And the virada is bakada ba 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 ba. Right, right, left, right, 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 right. So let's pass through this one. from the call. Here we go. Tuka, tuka, tukara, bruga, 1, 2. Virada. 1, 2, 3. And down. One, two, three, four. And this is one of those where I have a hard time talking and playing, but you've seen me through my process. All right, so let's speed it up. Get more up to Carnival tempo. These days, Portela plays pretty fast. They're up in the 150 range for sure, typically. So this one jams pretty fast. So here we go. Tuka, 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 da, pruga, 1, 2. Virada. 1. And whew. I need to practice that one more. That's a good one. It's a very good like tongue twister idea for your hands. All right. So we're going to leave Portela. And we are going to go to Mangueira. Now, Mangueira is one of these schools that has two different Caixa patterns. They have one for a 12-inch Caixa, and they have one for a 13-inch Caixa. And so let's look. Actually, I want to start with the 14-inch one. I actually didn't learn about this one until recently when I was doing some research on Dalita Santos's channel, and she has an awesome video with Mestre Wesley from Mangueira explaining the difference between these two patterns, and I was like, okay, that's really cool. I didn't know about this one. So this one is a very old school pattern, and I got some cool information from that same video that Mangueira typically runs with 80 caixas in total. Imagine how cool is that? So many caixas, and they run with half and half, 40 12 inches and 40 14 inches, and they split it in the front and back of the bateria evenly, so like 20 20 20 20, and they divide them all up so the sound becomes very unified. And they're tuned a little bit different, where the 12-inch caixa is tuned up higher and the 14-inch caixa is tuned down lower to have a beefier sound to it. So this 14-inch caixa pattern is very reminiscent of Telecateco. The whole pattern itself, if you're familiar with the idea of Telecateco on tamborin, it's almost exactly the same thing with the right hand pattern and the accents. It's very cool. So let's just look at the right hand, and we're going to look at the first two beats, just right hand. So we're going to go double, 1, double, 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. And as opposed to Portela, where we were accenting the first note of the double right, on this pattern, we're going to be accenting more the second note of the double right, especially the second one. I say the first two are almost even, but then the second double right, it's the second note is going to be a little bit more accented. So it's like da ga da to ga. Okay, and 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. Now let's add in the left hand for these first two beats. Ready, and 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. Right, right, left, right, left, right, right. 3, 4. Let's add in the next two notes. It's just another left, right. And So that's our first 2 beats. Now let's look at the second 2 beats of this measure, beat 3 and 4. It's going to be right, 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 left, right, right. And this one, the 12-inch pattern has a buzz in it, but the 14-inch does not have this buzz in it. So it's going to be ba, 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 ba. Very similar to the pattern for Yansa. Ba, 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 ba. And the left hand just fills in the spaces. 3, 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. That's how we get to beat 1. And cool. So now let's put the whole pattern together. I'm going to do it a couple of times with just the right hand, and then we'll add in the left hand. So here's the right hand. Ready, go. Let's add the left. Last time. Ready, and go. So if you're familiar with Samba de Roda, what's cool about this pattern is this tends to line up with the palmas, the clapping of Samba de Roda, where we go 3, 4, 2. Or in pagode, this happens a lot there too. Ba, 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 ba. All this stuff is connected. It comes from the same place. It comes from Africa. It comes from Europe, and it gets mixed together. And there's a lot of similar elements between all these patterns and the roots of where they came from. So let's start putting together this pattern from the call and with the virada. So the virada is going to be the same way that we did it with Portela, of right, right, left, right, 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 right. So I don't think we need to go over that. Pretty straightforward. And coming in from the call, we're going to come in on beat 3 of the pattern. So we just skip over beats 1 and 2, and we're going to come in with right, 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 left, right, right. Okay, so starting on beat 3, 1, 2, 1. Try that again. 1, 2. Right, 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 right. So let's do it from the actual Hapaniki call and come in on beat 2 and then loop it. Do the virada, keep going, virada, stop. So here we go. 1, 2, here's the call. Dukat, dukat, dukara, bruga. 1, 2. 1. Virada. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. Virada to end. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sweet. So let's speed that up just a little bit to make sure we got that. Couple little tweaks to the sound. That's a good question. So Dotan Pagode is a style of music from Brazil that is related to samba. It's in the samba family, but it's more played in a band format. So you're looking at the cavaco, the little Brazilian guitar, sometimes 7-string guitar, surdo, and more handheld percussion. So it's a band format of a lot of samba. So different than samba and enredo, samba school stuff, but just more like what happens in the backyards and the bars kind of thing in Brazil. All right, so let's speed this up a little bit. Let's go about here. Tukat, tukat, tukara, bruga, 1, 2. Virada. 1, 2, 3, 4. And virada. Counting and talking is hard. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whew, that's always a good test of how well you know a pattern is your ability to speak over the top of it. So there you go. All right, so now let's go to the 12-inch drum pattern from Mangueira. It's very similar. The only real difference... Oh, that's not the right one. There it is. The only real difference is this one's going to have, instead of the double right on beat 4, the E and A, there's going to be a buzz in that place. So we already know the first half of it of da ga 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 ga, and then the second half of it is just going to be exactly the same as we already learned with Portela, and I think that was the only one we did with that one so far. So let's just look at the right hand and go through the whole pattern. Ready, and... off. Cool. So it's very similar structure, but it just creates a little bit different feel. If you check out the YouTube video I mentioned earlier from Talito Santos with Mestre Wesley, they play the two patterns together, the 14-inch and the 12-inch, and it sounds really cool, the mixture of those two things. So I recommend checking that out. Her channel in general is amazing. It's all in Portuguese, so if you're not a Portuguese speaker, it can be a little tricky, but her interviews always include some historical information and talking about some cool little facts and tidbits about the baterias and the mestres and directors. So strongly endorse her stuff. All right, so let's see where are we at with this one. So we come in the same way where we're just playing on beat 3 and 4 of the pattern. So in this particular case, I cut and paste the wrong sticking up there. So ignore the sticking that's written up there. I'll fix it in the transcript that you guys have. It's going to be right, 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 left, buzz, left, right. Is how we're going to come in. And there's beat 1, and then we start the whole pattern. So if we're coming from dukat, dukat, dukara, bruga, 1, 2. Cool. Then the virada is exactly the same as we already learned with a couple other schools. Right, right, left, right, 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 right. Baka, duka, ga, ga, ga. Try it just to make sure. Easy. So let's do this one. Let's come in from the call. Groove, virada, stop. About here. Tukat, tukat, tukara, bruga, 1, 2. Virada. 1, 2, 3, 4. And virada. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bam, and that is Mangueira, bateria surdo. All right, so now let's go to this one here. A lot of different samba schools play this pattern. It's known as either partido alto or catuca, because you play catu, 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 catu. Brazilians love the onomatopoeias, and it helps us remember the patterns. But specifically, Salgueiro uses this one. Some cool facts about Salgueiro. For a long time, they only used tarols, which are the much skinnier. They're about like half the depth of these caixas here. And then one year, they brought in like 10 Caixa guerreiras, these ones like this, just to try it out. One year there was a weird transition because they were still playing them down low, and then they started to move up to Caixa em cima, and they had tarol, Caixa embaixo, Caixa em cima for 1 year only, all three of them, and then these days they mostly play Caixa em cima and tarol em cima. So let's look at this one, because this one is becoming more and more popular, and it seemed like when the sambas started to speed up, this pattern started to take over because it's a lot easier to play fast. It's a lot more hand-to-hand versus all these intricate patterns where it's a lot of double, single, double, single, double, 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 keeping track of all this. This one is a lot easier to just go very fast on. So this one, it's just beat 1 and a little bit of beat 2. Actually, really just beat 1 that has some doubles in it. And this one actually has some rim shots involved in it. None of the other ones up to this point have had rim shots. So the first beat, we're going to go right, 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 except on the second double, the first note's a rim shot. So we got head, head, rim, head. And the rim shot, just to remind us all, is when you hit both the drum head and the rim at the same time. So it's not a full rim click, and it's not on the head. It's both. And takes practice. It's just like a target practice. Dude, when I get the green screen going on this, I'm still figuring out how to do that, but it's going to be great. Good to see you, Jason. So just beat 1. We're going to go 3, 4. 3, 4. And you just put the left in that space. 3, 4. One more time. And then from there, it's all right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. And the important thing is the accents of it. So let's just build beat 2, where beat 2, we're going to rim shot on the and put an accent on that and. So do, gat, 3, 4. And. Cool. So that's beat 1 and 2. Beat 3 and 4 are just right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. The rim shots are on the and, 3 and 4 and, but the accent is on 3 and 4. And a lot of Americans make the mistake of trying to accent our rim shots louder than everything else, and it should not be accented louder than everything else. So just beat 3 and 4. Not worrying about the rim shots so far, just doing the accents is going to be 3, 4, and 3E and a 4E and a 1. Now let's add in the rim shot on the and just make sure it's a change of timbre, a change of the sound you're creating rather than the volume that you're creating. So keep that in mind. 3, 4, and one more time, and cool. So let's put the whole thing together, and sonically and accent-wise, all together it should sound like do gu ga do ga doom cha doom cha, doom doom cha, doom cha, goom cha, doom cha, do do cha, cha, doom. Try it out and. Cool. So that's that whole pattern. It definitely goes a whole lot faster than that. But let's cover the entrance and the viradas before we get to speeding it up. So this one, we're going to come in on beat 2 this time. We're just going to leave out the du-gu ga-goom, and we're just going to start with du-ga, 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 start. And there are some schools, American schools in particular, that taught the entrance, myself included, before I learned the right way, was to go du-ga, du-ga, du-ga-da, bruga 1. And there's some that do that. It's not wrong, but I had got corrected by a teacher this year. Vagiundo Hepiki was like, I don't like that sound. We should come in with your pattern. So it already starts swinging and already starts grooving rather than this cha 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 go. It's one groove, 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 and you're in. So I understand why, and so I'm trying to correct my own because we're all learning. So when we come in from the call, du-ga, du-ga, du-ga-da, bruga 1. And the trick on this one is just knowing where to put your double, the double right on beat 1. So du-ga, du-ga, du-ga-da, bruga, du-ga-da, chu-cha, 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 du-gu, ka-gu, 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 ka. And again, you can use your feet as a way of keeping track of where you are. So let's try coming in. 2, 3, 4. Du-ga, du-ga, du-ga-da, bruga 1. So pretty straightforward. Again, it's just taking away beat 1 and finishing the rest of the pattern. 2, 3, 4, then start again on 1. So now let's look at the virada. The virada is essentially you're playing your part all the way to beat 3. Where a lot of the other patterns we looked at, it's a very definitive baka daka da 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 or da ga 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 ga. This one is dukuruka dukutaka doom, and you don't have to change anything you're playing. Just stop on beat 3. So if you're grooving, and we're gonna do the virada. 1, 2, 3. Let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, and last time. 1, 2, 3. Straightforward. It makes it nice and easy. You don't have to change anything you're doing. Just make sure you chira mao take your hand after beat 3. So let's come in, let's groove, let's virada, let's groove, and let's virada to end. And let's pick it up just a little bit because we got a lot more to get to. Here we go. Tukat, tukat, tukara, pruga 1. Virada. 1, 2, 3, and. Virada. 1, 2, 3. And that is Catuca or Partido Alto or Salgueiro or a bunch of other schools, including a lot from Sao Paulo who use that one. So I wanted to show Beija Flor, not necessarily teach it because if you look at what's up there, it's exactly what we just did. But I just want to point out that Beija Flor does a really cool thing too, where they use 2 different size drums, where they play Caixa encima of using the same Catuca Partido Alto pattern that Salgueiro uses. And then they also have the 14-inch Caixas that they play down low that's just playing hetu, playing straightforward. So skipping past the 12 inch, I just wanted to show it so you can see it and know that that's what they're doing. But, and also show that this one. So this pattern itself, I copied and pasted the wrong thing. Sorry. So ignore what's up there. You're basically playing the same thing we did with Renascer de Jacarepagua, but you're not going to have that buzz at the end of it. Just so you have a visual reference. So looking at this pattern up here, you're just going to repeat beat 1 and 2 over and over again. You're not going to throw that buzz on the E of 4 and play straight ahead. So when you come in, it's the same idea of 1, cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha, and you just hold that rock steady. You get into this really interesting meditative state playing that over and over and over again, but it creates this really cool feel between the low, deeper drum and the higher drum played up top. So let's just play it through real quick just so we can sit into that grooviness for a second. We're coming in on beat 2 from the call. Virada is the hand-to-hand, baka, daka, da, ba, ba. And everything else is straight ahead. So let's just end on a nice little groovy cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. Tuka, 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 da, prugu, Virada. 1, 2, 3, 4. And virada to end. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bam. So that's a whole bunch of information for you, a whole bunch of different samba schools and patterns. There are others out there that I didn't cover today, but this will get you through just about almost any samba school. Some of them repeat or use similar ones. But I hope you enjoyed. It's kind of info dump. I'll get these up to the YouTube channel by the end of today, and I'll correct my few little mistakes on my chart that I came up with. But yeah, thank you all for joining. I really appreciate your presence here. As always, got the Venmo and PayPal in the class description, in the video description. And if you can donate a few bucks here and there, it's always appreciated. Trying to keep the living going through music and also trying to share some cool information. And if you have any requests for topics, those are always accepted, and I'm always stoked to hear those too. I'm trying to set up the week at this point where early in the week I do a beginning intro level class. Somewhere in the middle, a more intermediate advanced cover, some material breaks kind of thing. And then Saturday is training day. I'm going to do endurance training classes where I'm not really teaching anything. It's just play along at home and let's work on our skills and our techniques. So this Saturday at 3 p.m., I'm going to do tambourine training where basically this is what I do at home when I need to build up my endurance, work on increasing the speed that I play. We're just going to do drills, and you're going to be tired by the end of it. I'm going to be tired by the end of it. So I hope you can come on Saturday and come check it out. So thank you all again. I hope you have a lovely rest